So thanks everyone for joining us. This is the MeWe Awakening panel, part of our MeWe fairs and events for energizing body, mind, heart, and soul. We have events throughout the Northwest when we meet in person, and we have lots of events online. We have two types of events. We have fairs and panels. So our fairs, we have usually 15 or more practitioners. We do some work together in a main room, and then people meet in breakout rooms. And today we're doing a panel. So we have 8 practitioners on a panel. And when we do a panel, we have a theme. So today's theme is removing blockages, releasing blockages from your body. So all the practitioners on the panel specialize in that in various forms. And we also have this panel being interpreted for the deaf and hard of hearing. And I have some extra logistical things to get that all set up and working well. I'm very excited to have this available, so more of us have access to this great event. So it's free to be here today to listen and learn from all that is shared. And it's a small price to ask a question of the panel. You'll hear answers from at least half of us, possibly all of us, depends on the timing of everything. Practitioners may be taking some turns. And I did put in the chat, if you're interested in helping share, contribute for having the interpreters here, that would be helpful. If you want to share a donation, or if you do pay to ask a question, if you want to add a tip on for the interpreters, that would be great. So it is free to be here, and then to ask a question of the panel, it's $16 to $24 sliding scale. We suggest that $20 sustains us to continue to hold these events. $24 if you can contribute more to support others, and then $16 if you want to receive some of that support. And if you're BIPOC, it's $10. All that information is in the chat. You can pay by PayPal or Venmo, or I can run things on Square on my phone. So we're going to go through and have all the practitioners introduce ourselves. And practitioners, feel free to share about the theme while you introduce yourself, since all of you have some of this work as part of, some of this theme as part of what your work is. So you'll have about 3 minutes each or so. Go ahead and share about yourself, all the work that you do in addition to what is relevant for the theme. And then we'll be taking questions. If you want to ask a question, those of you that are listening, you could mention in chat that you want to ask a question so I can get you in line. And then please, if you could pay for it before you ask your question, that would be most helpful to us. All right, well, let's see. So I'm going to be pinning people. So I'm going to, let's see. So practitioners, let's sort out ahead of time who's going to share and what order we'll go. Maybe do, what's that? Oh, thought there was a question. Oh, let me mute someone. All right. Okay. So practitioners. So maybe we'll go in a similar order where we'll have sort of Sandra, Susie, Wyatt on the front end, Susan, just sort of going with the practitioners that have done this a number of times, something like that. All right. So, and hold on for a moment until I get everything set up before you start. So Sandra or Susie, which one of you wants to go first? Or one of you? Okay, Sandra's going to go first. So let me work on pinning everyone. Okay, great. We are all pinned. All right, go ahead, Sandra.
My name is Sandra Jeffs, and my business is Soul Essence Awakening. It's a compilation of all of the modalities that I've done through the years, because I found that a much more holistic approach helps the most. And releasing blocks and negativity and stress and trauma is critical and primary, the first level, because in order to heal, in order to step into your highest and best self, it's really imperative that you release whatever trauma you're still holding in your body, whatever stress you're still having, and also to release the limiting beliefs that no longer serve you in your life. So that's always where I start when I start working with a client, especially long term. And today, I work with the breath, I work with feng shui, I work with all kinds of modalities to do that over a period of time. My goal is always to empower the person with techniques and things that they can take going forward to continue the work after, so that they are empowered in the highest and best way. Today I'm offering 25% off a 60-minute session for releasing stress. And that's on the chat. And that's me, Sandra Jess, Soul Essence Awakening.
Great. Thanks so much, Sandra. And actually, I don't have your special in here. So if you could send that to me in chat, I'll get that in the notes.
It's in the chat now.
Okay, great. Thanks so much.
Directly to you.
Well, your contact info, but your event special I don't have.
Okay, it's in the chat.
Oh, okay, further up. Okay, let's see. And then I think Susie's next.
Hi, I'm Susie Parker Goins. I'm Blue Lightning Healing. I'm a channel, so I have the ability to embody the energy of your guide, so you can have a face-to-face conversation with them. Ask questions, get answers, trade jokes, whatever you want. This is an opportunity for you to establish that relationship with your guide so you can work with them outside of sessions on your own. I'm also a Reiki master, energy healer. I've learned how to do body scans, and in the course of that, as I teach you how to do that, I'm able to identify places where there's stagnant energy, and we go in and we ask those questions. What's this blockage about? Is it a past life, which is something I love doing, looking at past lives, or is it trauma? Is it emotion? And there are techniques I can teach you, like grounding and centering, connecting with divine, that allow you to do the same thing. You'll learn what body parts can hold different emotions. For me, releasing is one of those first steps in walking on your path to a clearer life, a life where you have more focus. And as you clear, we'll also work on filling in with something that you would prefer instead. So it's looking at old patterns, old thought patterns, old habits, old behaviors that you're done with, that you have gotten the lesson from, gotten that wisdom from, which is, that's a big part of what I do. I look at what you want to release. We identify the wisdom in it, integrating the wisdom and releasing the emotion or that past life or whatever is getting in the way, so you can integrate the wisdom to be more yourself, that evolved spirit that came here on earth to learn about being in a physical body. I look forward to working with folks. These events are just they're so enlightening for me too. So I'm looking forward to talking to you. I do have an event special, which I have to go check to see if I have. But thank you all so much. I really am loving all the diversity we're including too. So thank you, Lorelei. So talk to you later.
Great. Thanks so much. All right, let's see. So I think we were talking about, let's see, who's next? Oh, Wyatt. Okay, yeah. So let me get you in pin. All right, there we go. Go ahead.
Okay. Hi, everyone. My name is Wyatt Larson. I'm a shamanism practitioner and spiritual life coach with The Wildwood Hollow. It's my personal company. I basically combine the ancient practices of shamanism and the modern practices of life coaching to be able to help you, my client, move forward or begin your path of healing. I perform this or help you rather by performing a lot of the ancient techniques like soul retrieval, extraction, compassionate depossession, working with the death and dying. As a shaman, it is our individual duties to really cater to our community. And that means both the living and the dead. So by being able to go in and help through our journeys and entering the other worlds, to be able to help these people either cross or complete what they need to complete to be able to cross, so on and so forth. Through extraction, and on the topic specifically of releasing blockages, extraction is something that I perform to help us clear blockages that are within our body. And this may be because as we go through life, we pick up a lot of discordant harmonies that do not serve our body. And by releasing those, we create space for us to create our own harmonies so we can live within our own power. That's really part of what I do. There's so much more that I'm super excited that I can do, and I'm glad that I am here this space is so sacred and very accepting that I have found, and being part of it for almost, I would say, 9 months now. I myself have found home here. So I'm glad that you guys are all here and that we get to share this space together.
Thanks so much, Wyatt. All right. Let's see. Oh, Susan. All right. Let's get Susan to the front. Okay, go ahead, Susan.
Hi, I'm Susan Watkins with Inspired Life Essential Wellness, and I'm a Reiki master, energy worker, intuitive reader, using predominantly oracle cards, but also tarot. I'm also a sound healer, and I teach yoga as well. So I utilize all of these modalities really to help people mindfully move their bodies, to address blockages that are held energetically, physically, mentally, emotionally. And going through guided meditations as well to work through the subconscious blockages that may be occurring, so that really the people can live inspired, just like my company, Inspired Life, have an inspired and empowered life. And I really feel honored to hold space for people so that I can be a part of that healing journey, so that all can just live, a very joyful and empowered and inspired life. So I'm really honored to be a part of this panel and meet everybody tonight. And thank you so much for sharing this evening with us.
Great. Thanks so much, Susan. Get your information in the chat for people. And let's see who's going to go next. Let me put it on gallery for a moment. Where are we all? Okay, let's see. So we've got Daniel and Aylin and I'm Thorn, and who wants to go? Anyone in particular? Thorn or Daniel? Okay, Daniel. Let's have Daniel go. Let me get you pinned. All right. I think. Go ahead, Daniel.
Okay, great.
Oh, well,
my name's Dan.
Switched in. Okay, go ahead.
Okay, I'm Daniel Steinmetz. I'm a licensed body worker and a personal wellness consultant. With my business is called Moving Deeper Wellness. And I look at my services as body-based, whole person, because for spiritual seekers and others, I consider us as multidimensional beings inescapably, that we can focus on one level or another of ourselves, but healing truly happens when all dimensions of us are included: physical, emotional, mental, multiple spiritual levels, all need to be in the mix in order for change to happen. And that's the nature of my work. I have 25 years of bodywork training, licensed in 3 states. And I bring, integrating in with that, 40 years of personal exploration of health and wellness practices as a lifestyle, testing what works for me and what doesn't and why. And the largest container for me personally is a commitment to living in alignment with spirit and seeking truth not as a dogma, but truth as a living experience. And so I bring all of that to my work with my clients. I consider my work to be temple work. It's not something that I do casually, although levity and laughter is part of the mix, is therapeutic. I have echoes of working in temples in ancient Egypt and the Essenes. So I just try not to insist that life-changing things happen every time, but I'm there for that, to support that. And each session is a dive deep and then come out over the course of half an hour to 2 hours, whatever the client needs. This is client-led, based in mindfulness and self-inquiry and listening. And spirit always is the authority in our work. Oh, let's see, is there anything else? I work body work, directly working on the floor, on table, in warm pool, massage chair even. And I also work at a distance using tuning forks and vibrational work. Is the last few years I've been working less hands-on and more present and energetic. So there's much more I could say, but I think I'll leave it there. And again, my name's Daniel, and I'm really happy to be here in this sanctuary space with you all.
Thanks so much, Daniel. And by the way, this is Daniel's first time. This is Daniel's first time joining us on a panel, and we also have Aylin joining us for the first time today. So let's see. So let me get Thorn in the front pinned. Let me find where Thorn is. And then who's in? So Sharon, are you interpreting for Thorn? Or who is?
Dana is.
Okay, Dana, let me get Dana in the front. Let me unpin you. Oh, there's Dana. All right, great. All right.
Hello. Hi, everyone. My name is Thorn. My name Sign American Sign Language is off the cheek like this. If we haven't met yet, it's great to meet you. So I do astro reading, tarot, rune work, energy healing. I work with chakras. I do Fey-led work. So the whole spectrum. I do the gamut. I've also been involved in Reiki and energy celebration, researching past lives. I think with this particular topic on today's panel, I'm really focusing on the holistic aspect of it and whole healing. I'm a huge proponent of that. The sort of journey that we each take to find our individual health, how sometimes we find those blockages in our life, we become stuck, locked in negative cycles. So on any level, you know, and I really take that holistic approach, and I really want to work with my clients to support them in that journey. I work with people that are both deaf and hearing, use ASL, deaf blind, hard of hearing. And I'm also LGBTQ friendly. I love working with that community as well. So that's sort of a bit of me in the nutshell. I also have another passion. I work as an ASL teacher and coach. So soon I'll be a certified life coach that works predominantly in ASL, hopefully later this year. I'm really looking forward to completing that. So that's sort of me again, in a nutshell, who I am and what I can offer to you as my clients. So yay. I'm very excited to be here today, and I'm really looking forward to our discussions and getting to meet and interact and learn from all of you. So thank you so much. Cheers. Oh, one more thing. For the month of February, just for the new moon to celebrate, I am offering discounted services on my specials. So if you are interested in that, you know, any sort of like good energy work or anything like that, please let me know, get a hold of me, and let's make something happen. I also do astrology as well. So yeah, excellent. Thank you so much. Great.
And thanks so much, Thorn and Dana, and also Sharon for helping Thorn be here with all of us. All right, let's see. So are we going back to Sharon? Okay, let me get Sharon back up. And then I think Aylin is going to be next. Let me go find Aylin. Be just one moment. Here we go. Get Aylin into the front. Okay, great. Go ahead.
Hi, I'm Aylin Lona. I am a intuitive body worker and an energy worker. I've been doing body work for over 10 years. And as I've been doing that, I've been becoming more and more curious about the energetic components of stress and pain showing up in the body. So I'm now incorporating energy work into my practice. I primarily work with the chakra system and the etheric and astral bodies. It's kind of a deep therapeutic energy work that's pretty specific. So a lot of times, you know, what I'm finding with clients is that they have situations in their life, maybe past events or things that have happened that get lodged in their energy field, and then somehow that gets tucked into the tissues of the body. And so I'm finding some very interesting results in working with people who have chronic tension in their neck and shoulders and upper back. And we do some energy work and they realize, oh yeah, I've been holding the stress about this thing with my dad that happened when I was a kid. And I help them identify what that is. I can scan it and teach them how to release it. And then they walk out going, wow, my back feels better. So it's really an interesting journey to work with people. And also a lot of this work can be done on yourself. So I really like working with people who really want to evolve their experience of life and the quality of life that you have. So there are practices I can teach that will help you ground yourself. I think a lot of the practitioners here today work with grounding and identifying and releasing blockages in the energetic bodies, which really filters down into the physical body. So I'm very happy to be here and I look forward to seeing what we find this evening. All right, thanks so much.
Thanks so much, Aylin. All right, I think we got all the practitioners. Now I gotta get myself pinned. Okay, great. Well, I'm Lorelei Shimayo. I primarily share about my intuitive eye readings in these panels, and today I'm going to focus probably on my body psychology. So for me, body psychology is how our body is giving us so much information all the time, not just about our physical being, but about our feeling and emotional being. For example, when we feel an itch, we think it's like just an itch, but more than 90% of the time, it's where our body is giving us information about a feeling that we're having, wanting us to pay attention to something. It might be that we want or we don't want something. I'll give you a couple of examples, and I don't mean to make you paranoid. I know when I first learned about this, I got a bit paranoid about how I'm touching myself, right? Because all these simple things. So I use a model of 5 core feelings, and they show up in different parts of the body. And a typical one, for example, is anger. Anger being I want and I don't want. So yes and no. So anger often is in the jaw, head, neck, shoulders, and back. And so a simple itch right here, it's often where our body is giving us information that I want or I don't want something, right? Or it could be that we touch ourselves here in our nose, but it's connected near where anger is. But more importantly for me, this often is blocking expression. So it's a signal that maybe there's something we're feeling or thinking that we could say that part of us wants to say and part of it doesn't want to say it, and we're blocking it. So all these things are information. It could even be like where you're sharing about something and suddenly your neck tips to the side. And this again is a bit of cutting off communication, cutting off flow. So it just lets us know that there's something else probably that's in there. So it's a place to go inquiring what that might be. So little pieces like that. And then there are all kinds of ways we can use our body to shift things. So for example, we often get stuck in an either or, like this or that. But what if this and that, right? What if just there are ways of moving our body and then this and this? And it's shifting our whole physical being into an inclusiveness of something. Anyway, just little bits and pieces of ways we can notice things in our body and ways we can utilize our body to shift and move. And then there's just tons and tons of other things that show up in the body, our voice. So even something like a little sigh, it suggests stuckness. It suggests how we're stuck. It suggests sadness and maybe exhaustion. And it's a place where we're not expressing our yes or our desire for change. Yeah, so all kinds of different things. So I'll be looking for those. And of course, if you're asking a question and I can see you, I can't help but see your eyes. So I'll probably get some information from your eyes also. And it may be that what comes through your eyes is in alignment with what you're talking about, or maybe it's not. And that may give me some information, things I can look for too. And then maybe also I could say there are typical ways that what's in our eyes shows up in our body in a healthy way or shows up in our body in a way that's not so fully like in flow and healthy. So all kinds of different pieces and things like that I might go looking for. I should say also, I have a lot of my own personal trauma in my history, and lots of resources and tools for supporting people with that too, and subtle ways that I can sense it and see it in people that I don't even understand what it is that I'm aware of. So, yeah, so that's about me and my practice, and I should put information about me in the chat too, and then we'll get back here to talking about the event and how the whole event is working. And I see I've got some notes in here I need to go read too. All right. Oh yeah, okay, great. Got some information. Let's see, I'm going to, maybe I'll leave me up here pinned for a moment. Okay. Sorry, I'm just looking at the screen differently. It's funny, I'm like thinking about things differently. I think all of our practitioners got to share, right? Everybody help me if any of our practitioners didn't get to share. Okay, yeah, we all did. Okay, great. So there are 8 of us up here tonight. So you've had a chance to hear a bit about who all of us are and what we do. I'm going to paste the information in the chat again about how it works for paying to ask a question today. We have 2 people in line with questions right now. And it would be great if you also want to share a tip for the interpreters, either on its own or in addition to asking a question. And at some point during the panel, if you'd like to give us feedback about the panel too, I just put information about the feedback forum there. You'll get entered into a drawing for a free 30-minute session with one of us of your choice. So all that's available tonight. All right, let's see, some logistics before we get started. So this is being recorded and we are going to put it up online. So keep that in mind today if you want to ask a question. If you'd like to work with us in private, we're all very happy to work with you in private. Most of us have specials that I've put in the chat, and I'll put our information again in the chat kind of all together in a few minutes. So we believe that everyone is intuitive. Oh, and in particular, because you came to this event, you probably know that you're open. This is a great opportunity to practice your intuition and see if what comes through you is in alignment in some way with what we share in our answers. And just because something came through for you, or something that comes through for you that we don't say, doesn't mean that it's not so. It's just an opportunity that you can see what does come through if it aligns with what is true for us, as a way of checking in and giving yourself affirmation. So what comes through for you may be valid, even if we don't say it, of course. And if something does come through for you, though, you might want to write it down, because often they're fleeting. And if you want to reach out to the person that asked the question, please wait until we've had a chance to finish answering them. And then maybe write them privately and ask if they'd like to hear what came through for you first before you share it. And please honor them, whatever they share, if they want to receive it or not. They might be full at that moment, and maybe they've just heard from 8 of us. So please know to not take that personally and trust that it came through you for some reason. It's like 3 things that I shared. For some reason, I'm a little blank today. Let's see. Oh yeah, so this is public and it's being recorded. So when you ask a question of the panel, if we go deeper than you want us to go here, or we start talking about a related topic that you don't want us to talk about, please let us know. It's a little harder for us to see you tonight, so definitely unmute and share your voice, or write in the chat quickly so we realize we want to be able to honor you and how we're answering, and we will tune and change course. And then there are 3 things. I just encourage you to listen to all that's asked and all that's answered, and learn from all of those experiences. It's just a great opportunity to be here. I want to say too that just like heart math, in heart math, they've shown that when one person, a couple of people, a group of people are all like connecting to the idea of love, there's a field, and around them, other people are influenced to open their hearts more to love. It changes physically in their body, it has physical changes in their body. And I think by all of us being here together, we're holding energetic space for all of us that are asking the questions, and we really are propagating a field of what we're doing together. So thank you so much for being here, everyone, and doing this together as a community. That's part of what the name MeWe is about. It's about each of us, but all of us together at the same time. So thanks for being here. All right, looks like we've got more questions coming in line. Let me, and I'm flexible about the order we go in. I know we've got Verna and Martha and Dee at the moment. Let me see if some others have come in. And if you can pay by PayPal or Venmo, that works best for us. Oops, let me switch. Yeah, so if we do Venmo or keep going, Venmo or PayPal is best for us. And if you need to use Square, we can do that too. Okay, just checking. Okay, great. All right, let's see. Well, so I'm going to put us on gallery for a moment. All right, great. Well, Verna, are you comfortable jumping in and being the first one? I don't know where you are in here.
Yes.
Okay, great. Now I just have to find where you are. This is great. Big Sim. Okay, let's see. Maybe, oh, there you are. Okay, great. Let's get you pinned, and I will get you and Dana up here in the front. Okay, great. We're all set. Go ahead and ask your question.
Okay. Can you guys hear me okay? Well,
We can, yeah, go ahead. We're good. And we can see Dana. Yep.
oh, good. Okay, great. Well, I have a two-parter, if that's okay. One is just about my friend and her safety in her home right now. And the other one is just related to my own feelings about that and how my stomach is hurting and my throat is burning and I'm having nausea right now. So yay. But yeah, so my initial sense was that she is safe and this is something going on with her, but I want you guys to let me know what your thoughts are, or what you're getting, the information you're getting. So
you said that you're concerned about safety in her home, her safety in her home. Is that right? Yeah. Okay.
That's what she's concerned about.
Yeah, so she's concerned and you're concerned.
Yeah.
Okay, great. All right. And let's see. And if you have, so what we'll do, since as we'll gauge is how many questions are coming in, how many practitioners are answering. It might be everybody if we're fairly brief. I want you to get a thorough answer too. Do you have any preferences of who starts answering your question?
Just whoever's called to first. Up 2 or 3 would be fine, unless somebody has a burning kind of desire after that. I don't want to take up too much time.
Oh, no, it's definitely, you get answers from several people. And let's see, so practitioners, if you're able to raise hands using the tool in Zoom, that would be great. If you want to answer, and I see one of you has wanted to. It's in 2 places, depending on how updated your Zoom is. It might be under participants, and it might be under reactions down at the bottom of your screen. All right, great. We've got Aylin in line. So let's have Aylin go first, and let's see if I can add you to the pin and how it'll work. Okay, go ahead.
Hi, Verna. I can't really speak about your friend, but I can speak a bit to you. And if you can focus on your energy, then that might help your friend. It's kind of like putting on the oxygen mask on yourself first before you help somebody else. So, the areas you're talking about where you are feeling discomfort are your 3rd chakra and your 5th chakra. Your 3rd chakra is about your sense of yourself. And your 5th chakra is about your ability to express yourself. And because this is about safety, your 1st chakra is probably involved as well. So some things you can do to really help alleviate your own discomfort is to set a grounding cord. Are you familiar with any practices of grounding, Verna? Okay. So how I teach it is a grounding cord that goes from your first chakra, which is at the base of your spine, all the way down to the center of the earth. And you are solidly anchored there. And you can receive nurturing energy from the earth coming up into you. Also, that will help you feel a little bit safer yourself. I would also say that if you are dealing with some fear right now, fear and anxiety, is that safe to say? Then you can imagine releasing that fear and energy out of these chakras. So your fifth chakra is at the base of your throat here. And your third chakra is at the right underneath your breastbone. You imagine fear as a ball of energy, and it's in these two places. And you release that fear out the back of that chakra down into your grounding cord, down into the earth. And that can really help alleviate those emotions so that they're not so overwhelming. And then you might have a more natural energy flow to keep moving forward. So I'm hoping that can help you a bit.
All right, great. Thanks so much, Aylin. And let's see. All right, so we've got Susan in line and Susie in line. So let's do Susan first.
Hi, Verna. Good to see you again. I'm sorry that you're having these troubles. And I really appreciate you coming here and sharing, because, you know, as you share, that can help others. And, you know, like Lorelai said, you know, me heal, we all heal, right? So, so thank you. I love what Aylin said about the cord, the grounding cord. I use that a lot too, and envision you know, that you are receiving. And I like to add in kind of the mantra, I'm open to receive, and then, you know, stating what it is that you'd like to receive. And if nothing, you know, verbally comes, even just that statement of I'm open to receive, I'm willing to receive. And then conversely, with the release, I'm ready to release, I'm willing to release. And then stating what it is that you're wanting to release and let go. You know, maybe it's the burning in the stomach, the blockage from the throat. So just adding those things can be helpful. I'm open to receive, I'm willing to release, I'm ready to release. I would, for a couple of Reiki, you can put over your throat, you know, just rubbing your hands together, just creating some nice warm, you know, healing, just feeling your own energy and coming back to yourself, and just lightly place it, you know, on your throat, or one hand on the throat, one hand on the belly, you know, and then connect here to your breath. Just feel your belly rise and press into your hand. Feel the breath rise up to your throat, and then exhale down. And you can add even in with that breath, I'm open to receive. And as you breathe in that fresh breath, breathing in that fresh energy, I'm ready, I'm willing to release, and then releasing. So that can be really nice, just having your own healing touch on the places that are discomforting. With regard to the chakras, the throat chakra, the color there is turquoise. So maybe adding in crystal healing of, you know, the turquoise blue, wearing turquoise blue jewelry, or the actual stone. For that solar plexus, that color's yellow. So bringing in yellow, you know, maybe putting lemon in your water, that can also help with the throat. Peppermint can help with the throat and the tummy. Chamomile. So those are things that nutritionally could benefit too. The color yellow, if you're wearing the color yellow, buying yellow flowers, just incorporating some of those color therapy, as well as you know, lemon, peppermint, like I mentioned. And I feel like I'm taking too much time, so I'm gonna end it there. But there's so much more to say, and I really do wish both you and your friend well. You know, sending her just that energetic bubble of, you know, love and support, and yeah. So thank you. I hope that was helpful.
Great. Thank you so much. I love all the richness that we all share. This is great. All right, we've got Susie in line, and then after that we'll have Thorn. Go ahead, Susie.
Hey, Verna. I'm Susan, you were so concerned about taking up time, but every time I wrote a note, you mentioned it. So you went into the color therapy. So it's like, okay. And I didn't know turquoise was throat. I always see it as a blue, but I agree with her and with Aylin about doing the cord and allowing Mother Earth to provide that stability and that safety for you. I can't talk to your friend's situation. I don't have that permission to. So we're going to look and see. And what I saw is not only those color therapy things, you could wear blue or yellow, you can wear the colors, or if you have the stones, or just however those colors work best with you. I recommend that. That will help balance your chakras. I'm also feeling that this has got some triggers that are working on you, that feeling of safety in one's own home. So those are things that you would want to look at, maybe not in this life, but in a previous life, or if you had some inner child work to do. That No, it feels more like there's a past life connection between you and the friend where she didn't feel safe. So you can ask to, like in dream time, you can ask to go explore that past life or lives in which you two were looking at that concept of safety as you two shared lives together and you're floating around in different capacities. That's an option for you. Yeah, there are a lot of meditations out there. I've got one on my podcast if you want to listen to past life information and work on that sort of healing. That helps heal on so many different levels, because as you're holding it in your body, as you release it, it's actually going to help other things and things like start to domino in place. Because these other two folks were so fabulous. That's it. I'm good. Thanks.
Great, thanks. All right, let's see. We're going to have Thorn go next. So let me get Thorn on here.
Hello.
Go ahead.
So first, I just want to say how much I completely recognize and empathize with your situation and what's going on with your friend and her situation. I obviously, I can't speak to that situation. I don't have permission to, as the other practitioner said, but I can just imagine how you're feeling. And I just wanted to offer well wishes and support to you and a few thoughts that came to me as you were speaking. So first, regarding your sense of safety, I know if you're feeling distraught, nauseous, burning stomach, I just am again echoing what some of the practitioners said about working through your chakras and really trying to find that grounding, allowing that to sort of reconnect, as we were speaking, like to Mother Earth and things like that. When I think about like your aura and matching things like that, how fear often it can play a role and manifest in our stomach. And then we see how that's directly related to that experience of safety. I'm wondering about your triggers. And again, I'm just echoing what the other practitioner said. I 100% agree with all the advice given so far. And thank you also for sharing. So I'm going to take it one step further, if I may, and just add in. So your root chakra is sort of at the base of your spine. So it sort of sits right at the base of your spine. And that's also connected to the earth and astrology chakras as it goes all the way down underneath. So we think of like the root of a tree being grounded. And when I think about this, I think of that root chakra going down almost about 10 or 20 feet into the heart of the earth. And so that earth star is really important when we think about being grounded, especially to that depth. We think of all that strength we're receiving from Mother Earth, how that is being transmitted literally physically into our bodies. And that will help center you. As you feel more rooted, you will feel a greater sense of strength, and that will also give you an everyday sense of security. That will also help all of that tension be released, and you will feel more centered. So that's one option or approach. I'm also thinking about not feeling safe in your own home, the anxiety that's manifesting with that. And so I had a few ideas for maybe how we could sort of neutralize the fear in your own home, how to sort of clear out your home of negative energy. So my first idea regarding that is you could use salt to sort of cleanse your space. So maybe over by your doorway, you know, there's this sort of threshold as you enter your home. You could sprinkle some salt across the threshold, right? Yeah, again, right in the doorway. And salt will neutralize everything. It will absolutely absorb any negative energy, 100%. And that way, maybe if your friend comes over to your home as they cross that threshold with the salt laid down there, whatever they're experiencing will dissipate. The salt will literally cleanse it. So that's one option I was thinking about for your home. My other thought was we could also use some crystals. And that would be sort of setting up a protective barrier. So you could set up these sort of crystal wards in your home. And we have a few options for those. I have several different ideas. Black tarmine is one. I think the interpreter voiced that correctly. Thank you. Okay, perfect. Yeah. Obsidian is another great one. Hematite. Hematite actually mirrors the sort of like energy. So if you look at hematite, you'll see it actually kind of reflects back to you. So putting that near the door, maybe near the corners of the door, or sort of maybe behind the door where it opens, that energy then gets reflected back out. So any negative energy is reflected back out of the space. Black stones work really well, or black crystals in general work really well, again, for that sort of absorptive effect that we were talking about. So taking that negative energy, that stress and that fear, and absorbing it into them. And they'll also work as sort of a shield. So you're thinking of it sort of almost just like an energy shield around. So utilizing those crystals to sort of set up this protective barrier. And that way your whole home then is ensconced in this sort of very positive, negative energy absorbing shield. And that will sort of resonate throughout the house, sort of be on the aura of the house. Could be any kind of element, any kind of color. I'm thinking fire elements, water elements, air, earth, spirit, whatever calls to you, whatever feels right to you color-wise. But I just want you to envision a barrier, a blockage, a sort of your home becoming this very safe globe that you're occupying in. So those were my thoughts. And that way, again, as people enter into your home, that barrier, that sort of protective bubble is sort of working as a filter and taking away all those negative thoughts and ideas or anything that you wouldn't want to have in your home space. It's actually really similar, and you can apply that concept, that everything we've just spoken about, you can tell your friend to do these steps as well. If you want to maybe just mention this idea to your friend, I think that would be great. At the same time, I understand too that your friend needs to go, your friend obviously needs to figure out what's going to work for them. If they seem like they would be open to receiving these types of advice and suggestions, then absolutely go forth, but only you can best gauge where they're at this time. So sometimes with that energy, I think we always need to be very aware about where our boundaries are, and then also being aware of where other people's boundaries are. I think that's really important for the type of work that we do, to make sure that, before we offer advice or suggestions, that we are in alignment and acknowledging and honoring our boundaries with ourselves and our friends. So back to my main points. I really hope I'm just sending positive thoughts into the world for you, for comfort and a decrease in stress. And I thank you tremendously for being here today. If you'd like to talk any further, I'm here. I'd love to chat with you more. You can contact me anytime. Thank you.
That's great. And thanks, Thorin. You got messages about how your message rocks. All right. Let's see. And let me get Wyatt up in here. And we know we're going a little while, so we'll be quick in our answers now. Go ahead, Wyatt.
Yeah, I'll be really quick. Hi, Verna. It is good to see you again. So, like everyone else said, I can't really speak to the specific situation of your friend, but I do have a lot of wind guided messages, if you may, since I work with the wind. So, with the winds that I drew from my wonderful wind bag, one was Cardea, Cardea. Cardea is the Roman goddess. She's the facilitator, goddess of many things, the gateway, the hinges. In their cosmology, the four winds revolve around her. She is also the goddess of the hawthorn. A sprig or a branch was hung over the doorway to protect the home. But also when it comes to springtime, the time we're about to happen upon, open the door. It is thought that a strong breeze coming across the doorway is assured divine protection. But it's also really good for getting things flowing again, since wind is able to clear things out. With the wind, we would not have a clear sea. It would be full of sea foam and smells and stuff that we don't want. So bringing in the wind is going to be very helpful. For the message for you specifically, Verna, the wind that I pulled was more of a directional wind, or rather lack of direction. It's called the doldrums. And the doldrums is a place of no wind. And it does not mean do not take action. It means it is time to rest. It is time to recover and to rejuvenate and to allow your energy system to realign. COVID was all about rest and recovery, yet some of us may not have rested or recovered all that much because we're stressing about it too much. So the doldrums is coming in to really remind you that it is okay to take a break, that a period of no action does not mean you're not moving forward. It's just a period for which you are able to rest and recover. So hope that was quick enough.
Okay, great. Thank you, Wyatt. Let's see, and I think I'll share something super brief. Oh, Daniel's in line. All right, Daniel, let's get you in up here.
I think you can actually go.
You sure you don't want to share it? Go ahead.
Oh, okay. Hi, Verna. I'm really grateful that all the other practitioners have been great at specificity. That level of detail tends to take more time for me and more attunement with you and the guides. I'm moved to share what you might think of as meta frameworks, containers within which to work with a situation. And there's kind of a risk of saying things that can sound cliche, but I need to share them because I find them true, is that situations don't happen randomly. They happen for a reason. The big question is, what are the reasons? In other words, not just what the information is, but what can be learned from this? What can I learn from this? So actually seeking, that tends to be, in my experience, how symptoms get resolved most often, most effectively, is getting to the life issues involved. They can be other lifetimes, past or future lifetimes, though in my experience, past and future lifetimes are present if they're happening for us in the mix. So my invitation to you is to understand that there is purpose available in these situations if you can access what the universe had designed for you to move forward on your path with this. It's very tempting for us when we're having physical pains, emotional pains, mental anguish, to want to relieve the pain so we can get on with life. And that's really understandable. And I'm not advocating that we wallow in symptoms. But if we can kind of, I would say if I were to identify a technique, would be to ask of guidance help me learn from this, help me know what I need to have revealed to me, help me know what I can do as a sovereign agent in my life. And situations, to me, there's a opportunity to fall into the trap of spiritual bypassing. This situation is happening, therefore it should be happening. And I don't agree with that. I feel like they're happening until we get the lesson that we've actually contracted for. And when we can get the grab onto the lesson and then commit to doing the homework that lesson has brought to us in this classroom of life, then we're actually making maximum use of this phenomenon that we call human life. So I'm aware that this is sort of broad and may come across as abstract. I would hope that this is archetypal and frameworking within which you do sort of an open-ended inquiry, because it's been my experience that all the information we need in life is available as we practice asking the universe to provide. It's not a lack of information out there for us, it's a matter of us welcoming it effectively enough and striking that balance between getting lost in the suffering that we might be feeling, the difficulty, and trying to escape the challenges, kind of going in and out. We never want to lose ourselves in it. That's not helpful, but we also don't want to look away and ignore the presence. Your body, I think, is giving you some really valuable messages of how to engage this situation for learning and growth, and you'll be a deeper spirit by moving through this. I hope that helps. Hope that makes sense.
All right, great. And what I'll share just super briefly are 2 of the fear melters or fear antidotes. So, right, my sense is that you feel scared about this. I use a model of 4 types of fear, and my guess is that 2 of them are happening for you. One is freeze and the other is flee, right? So nothing's happened yet. So you're imagining to some extent the future of what might happen. So you're fleeing forward. And my sense is that you're a little more stiff. I'm looking at you, I can see this, a little bit more stiff in your body than you are sometimes, right? And your breath is probably more shallow. Those are both indications of freeze. So the antidote to freeze is to wiggle. So Verna, if you want to do this with me, and anyone can do this too. So wiggling your fingers and toes, and then hands and feet, and then arms and legs, and then shoulders and pelvis, and then spine all the way up, including your jaw. And you'll notice probably that your breathing opens a bit as you do that. So anytime that you notice that you feel a bit stuck in your body and your breathing is shallow, that's a way to open things up. And I just go back and I do it over again. But for time, I won't share that again right now. And then the other thing is to flee. So flee can be, running away, but often we flee differently as humans. So a common way is we flee up into our head, to the future, to the past. And so the antidote to this is to sumo. So it's literally to crouch like a sumo wrestler in whatever way feels okay on your body. And so again, anyone, you can do this too. And so you really want to feel the weight and the grounding in your body. And when you're sitting, you can just tighten your thighs and push your feet into the ground. And so what happens here, as I'm letting more people in, is that instead of fleeing out there and your energy's out there, it brings your energy right here, right now. And so I think fear is helpful when there's like a snake to do something about, and there may be something that you really want to take action with your friend right now, but right now there's so much here of what could happen that you probably can't even get in touch with that, what's right here, right now. So by doing sumo, the snakes that aren't here, the things that aren't here, float away more, and we're here and we can sense, is there something I want to take right now? So you're better able to hear, do I have an impulse that's attempting to come through, right? Of something that I want to do. Yeah. So those are 2 things I would suggest, doing the wiggle and the sumo. And this is good for everybody when you're worried about the future. And if you're working on a project and you want to know what's next, sometimes when you're in sumo and step forward in sumo, you can see what is the next step to take. Not like all the things that are out there, but what's next. All right, great. So thank you so much, Verna, for your question. Great for getting us started. And thanks, practitioners, all jumping in. This is great. And
Yeah, thanks everybody. I appreciate it.
You're very welcome. And I'm getting more into flow with how I'm pinning everybody. So this is great. All right, let's see. And I can pin multiple people at once, not just 2. I can pin 4 so far. All right, so we've got in line Martha and Edith and Brianna, and I think Dee is in line too. So we've got a few people in line. All right, Martha, I think you're going to be next. Let me go find you.
Hi.
Sorry, what was that? Someone say?
Hi, I said hi.
Oh, okay. No, speak again. Let me see if you light up.
Hi.
Aha. All right. Yes, there you are. All right. I'm pinning you and I'm taking myself off the pin. Go ahead.
So I'm back.
Great to
Can you hear me?
We can hear you. It's great to have you back.
Oh, okay. I like the wiggle in the Zoom one, by the way. My question has to do with my quest that I'm on for my purpose. So, having had a childhood with narcissistic parents, it's hard for me to make decisions. So, I want to see if the blockages that anybody sees that I have from childhood or past lives, and what can I do to get rid of those to be successful and not be so afraid of failure.
Okay, great question. Great question. By the way, we might have a panel coming up on healing narcissistic stuff. I can't remember if we've actually landed a date yet, but that's coming too. All right, practitioners, who would like to answer Martha's question? I guess while people are getting in line, I'll just give you a simple exercise that you can do to move through some of this. So it's great to take a piece of paper and some writing implement, and just while there's no trigger, no particular issue or anything, just in your daily life, take the piece of paper and the writing implement with you and just wander around and notice what's your impulse? What do you want to do? And so go do that. And anytime you don't follow it and you don't do it, write down what gets in the way. Right? And notice what else you want to do. Go do that. And if there's someone else around, it's great because there might be other people that you might want to interact with and don't, or but so just, it could be picking things up or taking some tea or touching something, or you want to go outside or notice. So this is a practice for noticing what's there and letting yourself follow it and noticing what gets in the way and looking for themes. Right? So there's just a way you can practice the muscle of listening to your impulses and following. All right, great. Let's see. So we've got Sandra in line and then Susie in line. So let me get Sandra up here first. All right, Sandra, go ahead.
Yeah, there's a practice that I do that is called unwinding, and it's really simple. And once you learn it, you can do it for yourself. And when I'm really working on unblocking and undoing something, I'll do this every morning as I get up. I'll just check in and see how I feel and how I'm making decisions. In looking at your body and doing a body scan, you're blocked in the lower 4 chakras all the way up from your safety chakra in your root chakra to your creative cycle in your sacral, up to, of course, your power center and in your solar plexus and your heart. And so if you want to, and anybody who wants to follow along, I can do the process with you. It's really quite simple to unwind and open that up. And I'll also do the adrenals, because the adrenals put us into the sympathetic nervous system, which is the fight or flight place. And where we want to be in life, walking through life, is our parasympathetic. When we're in our parasympathetic, things flow. And we want that flow. We need that flow in order to allow ourselves to move through whatever we're dealing with. And especially when you're trying to make decisions. If you're in the sympathetic of fight and flight, it's really difficult to move past that. You need to get out of that and move into the sympathetic. So I use the breath. And are you open to trying this, Martha?
Yes.
Okay, so it's really simple. Everybody can do it. First of all, just take a deep breath in, and at the top, hold the breath and hold it as long as you can, and just relax into it while you're holding the breath. The space between the breaths, whether you're holding the breath in or holding the breath out, is where the magic happens. This is where you're going to put yourself into the sympathetic, parasympathetic. So just keep holding it and feel your monkey brain start to quiet. When you can't hold it any longer, just let go. Ah. And that's just a really quick thing. Whenever you're feeling anxious about anything, you can just take that deep breath in and just listen for the quiet in your mind, that space between the breaths. Yogis, ancient yogis for centuries and centuries have been doing this to elevate their energy vibration. So the next thing we're going to do is do the space between the breath. And when you breathe out, I'm going to ask you to imagine that as your air is going out, you're pushing out, out, out with the breath. So you're breathing out very slowly. So take another deep breath in and hold it and feel that quietness where the brain stops judging, where you're just quiet and you're touching source. You're touching your higher self here. And then as you release it, blow the air out, blow that space all the way out into the universe as far as you can. Just keep seeing it move all the way out, 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 clear out to the quantum field. The quantum field, when we get to that space, is where you can affect change. And I'm going to help you with this as you're here in the quantum field. I want you to just say, bring up and say, fear, come. And you don't have to feel it for a long time. Just say, welcome. Show me what this is about. And if you hear something, feel something, pay attention to it, but you don't have to. Now, as at this point, just say, unwind, please. And you can visualize a cord unwinding. You can feel it unwinding. You can hear it. But just allow it to and feel it in your pelvic area as it unwinds and relaxes and releases. There's some other people on the call that also just release it and relax it. Now do the same for the sacral chakra, your creativity, and just ask, say, creativity, come to me. Show me, what is it you need? And pay attention if you hear something or feel something. And then say, unwind, unwind, and allow in your belly, below your belly button, allow that to just unwind and relax and release and feel it unwinding and releasing for you. Breathe it out as it unwinds completely. Okay, Martha, now we're going to do that for your power center, where you empower yourself. Now ask, show me the issue with giving away my power, with refusing and limiting myself with my power. And see if you hear anything, feel anything, see anything. Now ask, unwind, unwind and let go. And just let it go. Let that rope unwind. And release it. Free it, open it, feel it, relaxed and open and connected. Now we're going to do your heart chakra. This is where you have a lot of trauma here. So do the same here. Say, heart, my soul, show me what is the issue here. And listen, pay attention. And now tell your heart you're ready to let go and you're ready to move on. You're ready to move into unconditional divine love and release it and unwind your heart. Allow that rope to twirl and unwind. And feel your body relax. Feel your body connected from the root, from your pelvis, all the way up to your heart. And then move the energy up into your throat. And move the energy up into your third eye, where you can see your life purpose. And up into your crown chakra. Take a deep breath in and feel the energy coming all the way from your pelvis, all the way up to your crown, and just release everything. Unwind. Take another deep breath in and go above your crown chakra, all the way up 15, 30 feet above your head. And release and relax all the way down into the earth where you're grounding, all the way to the center of the earth, to the crystal core where you're connected. You are now connected completely. And with each breath you take in, you're breathing in connection all the way through, grounded and all the way up to your soul and your spirit. And when you breathe out, you're going back down and connected in an infinity circle. And that is your true state of being. Thank you. It is done, it is done, it is done. When you're ready, Martha, how are you feeling?
Thank you.
Good. Let those tears come. They're good. They're washing. They're cleansing. It's really, really good to be crying or laughing or sighing or yawning. Just let it go. You even look different.
I've done a lot of work on myself, and I've cried many, many tears, but for a long time I hadn't cried.
Mm-hmm.
And my mom passed away 3 years ago, so that was.
You can do this for yourself. You can get up in the morning and say, what's the main issue? Do the breath, go to the space between the breath, breathe it out into the quantum realm, and then just ask, what's the issue I need to work with today? And then unwind it. Because problems will unwind when we let go and let God, or let the universe, or whatever you want to call it. So you can do that process for yourself every morning, just reminding yourself. And even if you just do the space between the breath, that will help.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Right. Well, thank you so much, Sandra.
Interpreters are switching.
Yeah, I'm ready now, and Susie is on.
Hey, Martha.
Hi.
So we're going to dig deeper too with you. But I appreciate you being willing to be this vulnerable in a relatively public forum. When you were telling us about your background, the phrase that hit me was narcissistic parent, which is leading me down a path of having you reconnect with your inner child, that girl you were back then when you realized that your parents weren't whatever ideal you were hoping for. And you can take yourself on a meditation in which it feels like Mother Mary comes through. To me, she's like the ultimate mom. So she's happy to walk with you down a path in which you see this field or an open area. And there is that version of you, whether it's a baby or a child. And I ask you to engage with the child. Talk to the child. Listen to her hopes, her fears, her dreams. Ask her how you can love and support her. Let her know this is you and this is what your life has been. And when she heals, you'll be able to heal more too. And then picking up the child and holding her to your heart and feeling your heartbeats coordinate. They become synchronous, and understanding and reassuring her that you are her and she is you, and that you will do what you can to help her feel safe, to help her feel loved and wanted, to help her feel like she is the center of your life. And like a spirit guide, you can talk to her. What would you like to do today? You know, if you have this impulse, adults are so condescending when it comes to, oh, that's silly. It's okay. Kids learn through play. If you can make it more fun, it's not that they're not listening, they are enjoying it. So allowing this inner child to do those things she would have loved to do. I frequently see myself licking the batter after, mixing up dough or something. Or remembering that smell of a new box of crayons the first day of school. Oh, it was so full of possibilities. So engaging with the inner child in that way so that you can help her grow. And we're not rewriting your timeline. That would be denying your experience, which is denying you that healing. But you are looking at it in such a way that you can heal her and help her feel more confident, because this inner child is going to grow into a larger child, a teenager who becomes angry. And so you're able to help them at an emotional level, at a spiritual level, to grow and progress. And therefore, those changes that you're instilling in this young child are going to come forward into you. And I feel that's going to help you break through these fears. And I'm seeing a great big finger being wagged at you all the time. You're not good enough. This is not okay. And, so it's time to look at that finger. My thought is just to turn and move it away. But, I tend to be a little more obvious than others. But turn that finger away and have that, gather the child next to you and close to you and assure her that you believe in her. And as she grows and heals, therefore you're going to grow and heal. And I feel that's going to be one of the big steps in helping you learn to understand that it's not a fear of failure. It's okay to make a mistake. It's okay to fall, because it's the getting up. It's the correcting the error where growth is. So thank you very much.
It's great. Thank you, Susie. We're going to have Aylin come up in a moment. And just one quick thing I thought of as she was sharing, the exercise I shared earlier, where following your impulses and noticing the themes of what gets in your way, is to notice and be able to do something about those. But one of the things I often use with people is like a little me, and like being with your little girl. And you could, if you have someone, you could ask them, what do you want to do? And it might be easier for you to answer through them. Yeah. All right, we've got Aylin next in line. Go ahead, Aylin.
Hi, Martha. I really wanted to thank both Sandra and Susie and Lorelei for your insights. What I see is right along what Susie and Sandra said. I see the issues, blockages being more in your lower chakras, your first, second, and third. And I see the blockages being related to not having your voice heard or acknowledged when you were a kid. So you may have had desires or things you wanted to do when you were a kid and they were just shut down. And so, or you were made fun of, or somehow you were blocked. And so those blockages happened and they're still in your field. And they're also, I see courting with parents as well. So to help you, manifest yourself and your true self, I loved everything that Sandra and Susie said. And one thing I would add is you might have energetic cords still with parents or people from your childhood in your first, second, and third chakras. And those will just block your own energy flow. So if you can imagine each of those chakras, your first being at the base of your spine, the second being a couple fingers below your belly button, and the third being just below your breastbone. Imagine those little balls of energy that have cords attached to these people that no longer serve you. And so you just imagine a pair of hands embracing that chakra and releasing all those attachments and cords out of the first, second, and third chakra. And if you can do that visualization a few times a day, that will start to clean off those unhealthy attachments in those chakras. And that will allow your own energy to become more apparent. Yeah, best to you.
All right, great. Thank you, Aylin. And we've got Susan next. Susan, all right, go ahead, Susan.
Hi, Martha. I love what everybody has said. There's some really great advice there. And I think one thing that may be helpful too is some energetic tapping. So just kind of going along, just lightly tapping up and down the meridian lines, the energy lines of your arms, front and back, both the arms. And then also just below your collarbones here, and then to your chest and the sternum, the heart area, as well as taking a hand like on your belly and then on your back, and then just like you're kind of wiping it away. And then the other side, both sides, through your liver or your body processes toxins. And you can just take, maybe like a minute, down, up and down each arm, a minute tapping below the collarbones through that heart chakra, and then along the waist, kind of on each, in the back, the back through the belly on each side. Also, that will help with that energetic for the solar plexus. But I think really it's important too, that third eye, the sixth chakra, your intuition, really learning to trust that intuition, because that self-doubt. And so like a blue kyanite can be a nice stone, or dark indigo, purpley blue can be, me too, can be a really nice stone for tuning into that inner wisdom, inner guidance, intuition. You can even do some energetic tapping there, across your forehead, your eyes. I like to even put my hands there and just like wipe it away. And similar to what Lorelei was showing too, just shake, after you've done all this tapping, just shake it all off. Shake it all off. Set yourself free. Free. A book that's been really helpful for me And my journey with healing from narcissistic people in my life has been Mirror Work, 21 Days to Heal Your Life by Louise Hay. And each day is an affirmation and an exercise to go through, and you're looking in the mirror. For myself, there was a time when I couldn't even look at myself in the mirror. So that can be really helpful too. So thank you so much for sharing your story with us, and best wishes to you. Many blessings.
Yeah, and Martha, feel free to unmute. I had just muted you because there was a little bit of background noise.
Yeah, my daughter.
Oh, and Thorn's got something too. Let's get Thorn up in here. All right, great. Thorn, go ahead.
Hello, Martha.
Hi.
Hello. First, I just wanted to say again, I just am so appreciative of your sharing today. I'm just deeply grateful for that. Thank you so much. I'm really feeling on an empathetic level what you're going through. You know, I really just resonate, and I just wanted to agree with what the other practitioners have said so far, and how your journey, the story, just wow, that just really resonated with me. That was such a powerful words that you used. I feel like a lot of that stress and trauma, like how can we sort of push that away? As you were speaking, I was watching, and a thought just sort of popped into my head as you were talking. And I thought to myself, Isis. Isis, as we know, is the goddess of women, an ancient Egyptian goddess, sort of like the mother, just as someone else had mentioned, Magdalene, the Mother Mary. So it's very similar, but also very different. So just a little bit different. But very much a mother figure, all knowing, all seeing, all embracing, there for total support, the mother of the heart, you know, there for little girls, there for the sisterhood, there for all femininity, all shapes and sizes. And so as you were saying that, I was really connecting with that. And I think it might be helpful to ask Isis to come and help you sort of clear out some of these blockages that you're having. I think that can really help shift your perspective, because you have to understand, you know, in some way, this is your story, but it's also the story of your parents and the trauma they inflicted on you. And so I want you to have your own authentic story and find your own authentic self, because it is in there. Now you have the opportunity to recognize that that story was foisted on you. The narcissistic parents and all the trauma, they fobbed that on you, and you can acknowledge that now and get rid of it.
Yeah, I resonate more with Isis. Sorry, Susie, but my mother was very devoted to Mother Mary, so so that was
Truly, whoever works best for you. It's all divine. It's
know.
all aspects. And Isis is your girl. That's totally fine.
100%.
Well done. Thank you for saying it.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah. So definitely Isis was coming to mind right away. And then I think for me, a second just thing I would posit for you, any kind of negative energy, anything that feels draining, like there's a rain cloud over you, anything like that. You know, for me, there's a really quick way that this is sort of thing I recommend to a lot of my clients that I work with. Try to envision that energy like a little ball. And then imagine someone is handing the ball to you. So think about, like, let's say if we were to write it in a letter, right? You would put it in an envelope. Imagine sort of doing that, taking the energy and putting it in sort of a metaphysical envelope, and then say, return to sender. So I want you to envision taking that negative energy, putting it in an envelope and saying, return to sender, and give it back. Go put it out there. And also that will really help support your energy. I also really want you to focus on your boundaries. So your physical and emotional boundaries, and maybe do some grounding work with that. I think that would really help with that. So just a little food for thought that came up. If there's any other information I can offer, please let me know. And I really, really appreciate I'd love the chance to work with you, and thank you again.
Thank you.
Great, thanks so much. And we've got Daniel next.
Hi, Martha.
Hi.
Thank you so much for bringing this. It's moving to me. To me, you're highlighting central things in your life. I mean, you said you're on a quest and search for purpose. To me, that's what could be more important, what could be more encompassing. So it strikes me that that is the core of who you are, is where your energy is ultimately going to come from to keep moving forward, to keep releasing this. So the finger you put on the deepness of this, I think, is worth holding on to. This isn't sort of trivial stuff. This is the most important goal in your life, is purpose. And the stakes are, you might say the stakes, if we think of ourselves as having situations in life that we create, not personally, but our larger selves, that's a hell of a challenge, narcissistic parents. So it's grand spirits choose big lessons. You might put a bumper sticker or notes to yourself around the house, reminding yourself that a grand spirit is at work here, meaning you. And it can be so hard to track that because the history of growing up, we're programmed with all sorts of survival responses that obscure that message. So the large arc of this process for you, it's not quick. You know, this is a life journey in many ways. I lost the train here. I trust it will come back. There's, if I think of physical level, emotional level, mental, and spiritual, just to oversimplify, all of them are involved in your being. All of them have registered their survival responses. And it's a process of unlearning those survival responses. It strikes me that emotional level is maybe the core place for you, and not to ignore or set too far aside the physical support, nourishment for yourself, and the belief systems, the thought, trains of thought that are associated with the survival. But it seems like a fruitful place to think of the spear point of keeping moving forward and in the path forward is emotional healing. And our nervous system is so good at learning survival responses, and they're appropriate to the circumstances. And then it becomes spiritual learning to transform those beyond. The grand spirit that you are is behind these nervous system tapes that are no longer accurate. They were accurate and true at the time, but now they stand in the way. So I don't think I'm saying anything completely new to you. I would think there's a lot of emotional healing that's really fruitful. And the more pain we start off with in the growth process, the richer the experience of our resurrection. Serene's feelings for me, so pardon me for that. And if you do, in fact, give the large majority of your focus to emotional healing, it's really important to integrate into your life corresponding, say, self-loving stretching, or finding a place where you can rest in some warm water, ways to take care of you as you know you are inside. Respond to that. It's so confusing to have these tapes that are no longer present tense accurate. We believe that they're true because they're so talking to us all the time. They're what we experience the world through. And so it's just an ongoing journey of, in larger framework, of the experience of repeatedly going, oh, I'm having this feeling, hey, wait a minute. There's maybe a deeper truth. And through time, through that practice, that is part of the lesson this huge lesson that you've created, that you've joined in on or contracted with. Just that process of seeing through the no longer adequate tapes in you is the riches. To be just done with it actually would be missing the reward. So I'm not saying to like perpetuate it, but each time you have a success, a breakthrough, whether it lasts for a few minutes or half a day or so forth, that's going in your spiritual resume for when you graduate on, you go, I earned that. So I get a sense of, well, I'll just kind of throw this out here, that one of the tapes is of defeatism. Which would make sense, when a child dominating your reality. That is completely understandable. It's almost like the healthy response. I don't want to say that, but that's what comes out. So it feels like that could be a grabbing point when you feel your goodness. It's like, yes, that's true in me. And what's deeper? Who am I behind that? And asking for help from the universe to technique are appropriate in the moment. I think I'll close it there.
Thank you.
Lorelei, interpreters are switching.
Yeah, all of a sudden I noticed. Let me go grab Martha again. I gotta find where Martha went.
I'm here.
There you are. There you are. Okay, great. Thank you. All right. Yeah. All right. Anything? So Martha, I think everyone has, all the practitioners that we're going to have shared. Is there anything you just want to share now? I know that was a lot, the last like half hour or more, 45 minutes. Yeah.
Thank you so much. I'm so grateful to have found this community. Thank you.
Thank you so much for asking your question. I know just so support for so many of us that have that history and so many related things. It was really beautiful. Just
Thank you.
Your being with everyone. All right. Let's see. So next we've got, so Edith, if you're ready.
I am ready.
All right. Let's see. Did you want to come? Oops, you just.
Yep. There we go.
Sorry, you bounced around where you were on my screen. I got to find you again. Could you say something?
Sorry.
All right, great. I got you now.
Yeah. How's everybody tonight?
Great. We are good. It's a beautiful full house. So yeah, go ahead and.
Yeah. I guess tonight I've been working hard in the last couple of years to heal that inner child, and to move forward in my spiritual journey. And today I was kind of knocked off my feet when my best friend died. And grief has seemed to have been the biggest issue for me to take and get past. and to be able to move through, because there's been so much loss. I'm sorry. There's just been so much loss in my life.
Yeah, and go ahead. Yeah, it's fine to feel as you're sharing. Please go ahead. Don't worry about anything.
So yeah, I guess I'm wanting to know what I can do to help myself heal in this life, to be able to make that journey over a little easier. I just missed so many people tonight.
And I want to ask a question. You said to make this journey over a little easier. I know you miss, right, your friend that just died today. You just learned about it today. Did your friend die today too?
Yeah.
Yeah, and you said to make this journey over a little easier. Are you?
Oh, no. I'm going to be here for at least 30 more years.
Okay, great.
No, but I just have learned that the more I can do here on this earth on my spiritual journey will only help me when I make that crossover. And
oh, all right. Yeah, big question. All right. Well, Wyatt's got something. So Wyatt, let's jump in. Let me go find where you are. There you are. Okay, let's get you up here. All right, go ahead, Wyatt.
Hi, Edith. One, I want to say I feel very deeply for your loss, and it is okay to grieve. Grieving is part of our healing journey, no matter where we are on it. Sometimes it just hurts so much, and it is okay to go through that, no matter if in 10 years this friend comes to mind and you start crying, and that's okay. It's like a ball in a box with a button. Sometimes, the ball is away from the button, and then the box turns and it just hits the button again, and it's okay to go through that. Being a shaman or a shamanism practitioner, I work with death quite a bit, and rather I call it transition, because it is just this physical body that we drop to move forward into a new existence. And that also kind of opens the door for us to realize that they're not truly gone, and we are able to communicate to them on a different level.
Mm-hmm.
When one transitions, especially so soon, and I promise I'm not trying to be funny, I find it that, spirit may want like 3 months off. So I'm not going to offer to go in and help speak to this loved one of yours, because sometimes they're done with the physical world for a hot second. They're like, I will get back to you in however long. I am enjoying my life as a fully embodied spirit. In your own spiritual path, the only thing that is assured in life is love and death. For us to move forward, but that does not mean that life is about, working towards death. When we are working on our own spiritual journey, it is time for us to kind of find this balance between what is living and then what we are preserving for ourselves to move forward. So when you talk about your own spiritual journey and what you would like to experience or what you want to do, what do you want to do? It's not something that I can answer or Susie can answer or any of the other practitioners. This is something that is within your own heart and your own calling. So, Edith, what do you want to do? What do you want to perform? What do you want to achieve? What ceremonies do you want to do? Do you want to dance with the wind? Do you want to connect to your child? Speaking of wind, sorry, continue.
I think for me, I want to heal that part of my child that is just every time there's a loss, I'm just I appear to be I'm devastated for a few days.
Right. We all have that. I do want to say I did pull a win for you. And again, it was the doldrums. The doldrums are coming to you. It is time for you to settle in and to find this place of rest and recovery.
Okay.
And it is okay to cry, to scream, to beat on the ground, to yell at spirit. Why is this happening? Why does this have to happen to me? It is okay to be selfish. It's part of the human experience. So.
Thank you.
I think I'm done. So just rest, recover, and know that you're supported, loved, and surrounded by compassion.
Thanks, Wyatt. All right, Sandra, and then Susie, and then Thorn. So Sandra, go ahead.
Yeah, I feel for you. I've also had a lot of loss with both my brothers and a friend and my husband, and now a friend, another my best friend for 45 years is dying of cancer imminently. So I know what that feels like. For me personally, the only way through is through. And I go back to the serenity prayer of accepting what you cannot change, having the courage to change what you can, and having the wisdom to know the difference. But grieving is a really important thing to do. So there's nothing wrong with it. And it means, if, as you said, you're devastated by it, it means that you feel deeply and your heart is open. And that is a really, really beautiful thing. So I want you to embrace that you have that depth of love and ability in your heart. And what a gift, what a blessing that is to the rest of us and to the universe. So I would encourage you to honor that as a gift, because not all people have that. I want to share with you something that I'm working really hard. I work with the energy of stones. I can't remember the name. It was a French woman who discovered this, but Einstein further discovered it when he was working on the atomic bomb, that energy can never be destroyed, nor can it be created. It can only be transformed. So for me, when I realized that and I understood it, I understood that my loved ones had transformed into a different form. They weren't gone. They just were in a different form and a different vibration. I do a lot of clearing of spirits that are, waywards, that are still stuck on this planet. And it's simply a matter of loving them back into the light, to go into the light. But I'm working recently a lot with fluorite, and I don't know if you're aware of fluorite. I'm going to hold it as close as I can. Fluorite, every gemstone, everything has its own energy signature. Fluorite is one of the only gemstones. I'm going to hold another one up. It's one of the only gemstones that the energy can be raised in it, and once it's raised, it can never go lower. So, quartz and crystals that we work with, the energy can go up and down. It can take on negative energy and then we can release it, but they can go up and down. But fluorite, once the energy has been raised, stays at that energy level. So most people in this planet walking around are at a dimension of a 3 or a 4. Some operate on a 5th dimension. But I've discovered that I can raise the energy to the 12th dimension on a piece of fluorite. And when you wear it, especially fluorite is a healing stone. That's its primary in any color. You can wear it in a rainbow color. You can wear it in green, blues, purples, clear. but regardless, it's a healing stone, and it also can help raise the vibration. So the reason I went and got my stones was you had mentioned that you wanted to move out of this place of devastation, and I encourage you again to honor who you are, but wearing, owning, holding fluorite can really assist you to raise your own vibration level appropriately. So I'm in the process of getting these up on my website. My website's on the list, and they're not really expensive, but I have spent the time and the energy to raise every stone I sell is at a level 12 vibration, and it's also been infused with unconditional love, and appropriate raising of your own vibration, because sometimes you just need to feel like shit. And it's okay to do that, to feel really terrible for a while, and you'll come out of it. So good luck.
Thanks, Sandra. All right, let's see. We've got Susie up next, and then Thorn, and then Aylin. So go ahead, Susie.
Hey, Edith. What I offer for you is that grief is, for me, in my experience, has not been something to just go racing through. When my mom died when I was 13, I was told to hold back my tears because that made me a strong soldier. And so here I am. I can't even do the math how many years later, but all these years later, there are still moments it comes up. And there's a story my sister told that we were sitting, she was sitting with a close friend of our family who was my mother's best friend, and her son had just died. And she asked Lucy, she said, how do you deal with the grief? When does it done? And Lucy said, it's never done. You just get used to it. So working through it is fine. Feeling it, as everyone has said, is really important. Tears are a sign that divine is with you, that spirit is with you. So those tears of release that clients experience, or these tears of sadness, that is divine letting you know that you are in body and that you are connected. Your friend is in a better, I think I tuned in like why it's like, yeah, they're taking a break. And I totally agree with that, because there are times it's a passing, and so folks need a chance to take a break. Kuan Yin came through to me, and she asks you to follow your heart, to feel the grief if you need to. Your friend had a deep impact on you. Your friend is still there in your heart. And those who live in your heart have the plushest of residences. I also pulled some cards, and the first one was wolf, or instinct. Follow your heart. Process how you need to. Offer, set out a little table for your friend. That's like at Halloween, they do dumb suppers. So you set a place for those who have passed. Do that. Do that anytime. Don't wait till Halloween. I have many friends who say, oh, Halloween, let's make it, February 14th this year. That's my Halloween. So make it any time and celebrate those you have had that honor and the pleasure and the privilege of knowing in body. Remember, you will see them later on. The next card was the lotus flower, which is unfoldment. Allow yourself to expand into the grief, or to expand into your space, into your heart. Because that's what happens with the lotus. It comes up from the mud. And through that mud, through the murkiness, through what other people would go, ew, at, there is incredible beauty around. And finally, I pulled spring equinox, or rebirth. And that is an opportunity for you to grow in new and different ways as you are experiencing the when you have this experience of grief, you have an opportunity to, yes, step on the other side, but you do still have so much opportunity to grow and see with such a light of love from your heart to your friends' hearts to all of these hearts. And as we've been saying pretty much all through the night, as you heal, I heal. It's what our friend Galactic Ashley says. As you heal, I heal. As I heal, you heal. And you can't help but to raise the vibration of yourself and those around you. I light a candle for you, and I will hold you in my heart. I hold everyone in my heart during these rough times. So thank you for sharing.
Thank you, Susie. And I just have to let you know that that spring equinox card means a whole lot, because I'm actually planning a illuminated labyrinth walk at a labyrinth I created in my community for the spring equinox. I did one for the summer solstice or for the winter solstice, and I'm going to plan this year. I want to do one for each of the quarters. So
oh my gosh, that's awesome. I'm going to cry, so I'll have to turn off for a minute, but that is so awesome.
Oh, thank you.
Yes, blessings. Oh my God. Okay, I have to turn off now because, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So beautiful. All right, Thorn, you're up next. And I don't know if we're switching. We are. All right. Yeah, go ahead, Thorn. If you are ready. Yeah, okay, great.
Hi, Edith. Hello. First, I just want to acknowledge again with gentleness and compassion my sincere condolences for the loss of your friend. I that really resonated with me, and I again extend my sincerest condolences. I was really agreeing with Wyatt in that this was an opportunity when we experience grief to really allow those emotions to run through and to sort of do what you need to do to get the grief out, whether that's bang on a drum, beat the ground, move your feet, really allow those emotions to come out of your body. And the reason for that is sometimes grief will represent itself as anger. So you can see that happen. Just be aware that that is sometimes grief will manifest as anger. Sometimes it will manifest as depression. So I think it's really important to sort of acknowledge where you are with that sort of journey as you move through the grief, and to also honor the grief. Allow it to happen. Grief is a normal, natural part of being human. It is part of our human condition. And so I think it's really important to honor that and to sort of cherish and acknowledge when that feeling of grief are happening. I think what happens is that if we don't allow the grieving process, then that can sort of cloud us. And so then the grief is sort of sitting over us like a rain cloud. And that's not ideal. We don't want that to happen. It's really important, as I said, to honor it and to sort of ask yourself how to move through it. So I was thinking, I've noticed like often when I work with clients that are dealing on grief work, again, that common question is, how do I move through it? One of my suggestions has always been, maybe have a small ritual. Maybe have a small ritual to honor that person that you lost, to sort of help that process of healing and to acknowledge them. So we can have a ritual. And the second one is to share love, to hug and connect and share love, because the love is still there. It's just there in a different way. And so I think we always want to acknowledge that the love is there. My third thought was, your friend still lives in your heart. I know, maybe it sounds a little funny, but Harry Potter, for example, I'm a huge Harry Potter nerd, so guilty. But there's one part where Sirius Black, the character, and Harry, as you know, he's his god uncle. And Sirius is telling Harry that those who love us never really leave us because they live on in our hearts. And I think sometimes we forget that they live on in our hearts. And we think that we've lost the connection, and we focus on the grief and the loss, and I can't call them, I can't write them, I can't communicate with them. And that's okay. It's okay to feel that. It's also okay to feel overwhelmed by that. I think at the end of the day, though, it's important to remember that right there, tucked in your heart, is your friend living on. And I think acknowledging that will allow all the stages of grief to have their full course that they need to run. The despair, the anger, then that can happen naturally as long as we continue to hold them in our heart and understand they'll continue to live there. It is a process. It is possible to move through, but it is very slow. It is a very, very slow process. So another tip I was just thinking of, I was just agreeing with one of the other practitioners as it came up, was yes, to set up a place for your friend. If you have an altar, maybe you could set up something special on your altar to acknowledge her. You could give thanks to any ancestors you pray to that they were in your life. You know, you could give thanks as maybe now this friend has become one of your new ancestors. And so maybe having something set up as a place setting to acknowledge that, and then also to celebrate their change as they've moved from this physical world to becoming now your new ancestor. I know it's hard, I know, but the more connection we have with these rituals, with the process, with the grief, with the acknowledgement, you will start to notice the grief itself will alter over time. It will shift. And you'll notice that shift within yourself, and you will have more moments of remembering and cherishing your friend and less of the anger and the grief. I also would not be surprised if moving forward at some point in the future, your friend might pop up, maybe just to show you something, just something special for you. There might be just something that happens in your life in the future where your friend pops up just to say, hey, I haven't forgotten about you, and I love and I cherish you. I would not be surprised if that happens. I know I do a lot of work with ancestors and past lives, and I've never ceased to be amazed at how many times people that have passed on pop back into people's lives just to say, I'm still here. I'm here in your heart. I'm still here. I cherish and I love you. So yeah.
Little signs, I call them little signs. And that's what actually keeps me going through the grief. The little signs from them that let me know that they're there, they're watching, they care. I totally understand that they're right there on the other side of this veil. So thank you.
Exactly. Yep. You are very welcome. If I can offer any more tips or thoughts, please let me know, get in touch with me. Absolutely no pressure, but I'm happy to if you want to. And again, please take care of yourself, honor your own journey. And thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Lauren. All right, we've got Aylin in line now. Aylin, go ahead.
Deal with, we have a member.
Sorry, is something going on? I didn't see what's happening.
Yeah.
Okay, let me go see. Is there something on video or something?
Yeah.
Okay, sorry. I'll work on it and take care of it. I'm sorry I don't see what's going on, but yeah, someone could put me in privately in chat and let me know what I need to do. That'd be great.
Edith, I just wanted to, I heard you say you wanted to, almost like you're so tired of the grief and there's so much loss. and I hear you, and I've gone through a lot myself, and I have come to see grief as a deeply sacred emotion. And it is so painful and so hard to get to experience. And it is the most grounding, connecting emotion I can think of. Because you know the people, you know they're in your heart. And so I just want to I hope that you can experience it as a blessing, in a way. You know, it's a horrible blessing, but it is a blessing. So, and also, if you don't already, if you have some way of using art to express, either visual or sound or creating labyrinths, something like that. That's all I wanted to share.
Creating labyrinths have actually been what has helped me walk this grief journey. So I create them every day. I give them away to people. But yeah, that they're my way of coping with the grief. Thank you.
Am I allowed to share anything?
I'm sorry, hold on. If you, let's see. So I know, sorry, just hold on. If you could mute, please, I'll write you in the chat. All right, let's see. So I think we've all answered Edith's question, and let's see. So yeah, so we've got space for another question if someone wants to ask a question.
Lorelei, real quick, I don't think Daniel, did Daniel say something?
Oh, did you want to hear from Daniel specifically? That's great. Yeah, sure.
No, I just was wondering if Daniel or Susan had anything.
Yeah, if they do. So I want to say we have space for one more shorter question to do afterwards if someone wants that. But yeah, but go ahead. So go ahead if Daniel or Susan, if you want to jump in.
I can just, what everybody has said, I was just trying to think, like, how can I add to this? Because there's been just such a wonderful, I don't even, I don't even have the words. I'm intrigued by your labyrinth work, because that's something I'm trying to bring into my own backyard and life. So I would love to talk with you offline just on that. But as others have said, really, oh, that's just beautiful.
Okay, this is one that I've just recently completed.
Wow.
And then this is one that I'm working on. It's not quite yet finished. But that's just, yeah, they come in all shapes and sizes. And yeah, so I'll shoot you my information, Susan, so you can get in contact with me.
That would be great. I mean, because as we say, it's like we all heal, right? We all work, we all have gifts and talents, to share. And as others have said, the only way through is through. And just honor how you feel. I like to do this meditation where it takes 5 minutes. I spend 1 minute just grounding to my breath, just feeling my breath, not trying to alter it or change it or manipulate it or analyze it, just feeling my breath, feeling my own life energy flowing through me with my breath. And then from there, just placing my hand on my belly, hand on my heart, because that's where you can really connect and feel your breath, and just opening to gratitude, just connecting to something that feels like gratitude. Maybe it's a memory, maybe it's a smile that comes to your face, a sparkle to your eye. Maybe it's, something, an experience or something that you're actually grateful for. And maybe adding the mantra, I'm so grateful for, I appreciate. And just being in that presence of being grateful and appreciative and feeling blessed. And then this third part of that, so grounding into breath, connecting to gratitude, And then when you're in that heart space, in that space of gratitude and connecting to higher self, just asking, what do I need to know? What do I need to remember to remember? Is there any message that my heart has to me, for me, through me, that will help me? And whatever it might be that day. Maybe it's grief, maybe it's just, what do I need to know? What do I need to remember to remember? And then just, taking a minute there. So each one of those kind of bus stops, if you will, would be about a minute. And sometimes I'll do like the chime, that goes off about every minute. So connecting to breath, connecting to gratitude, asking the heart, if there's any messages, receiving that message to yourself, for yourself, from yourself, and then just letting all that go. And then I just ask, may I be an open channel for love to flow through me, and just taking and being in that space of love and gratitude and receiving anything else that that will help me.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're very welcome, and blessings.
Thank you. Thank you very much, guys.
All right, and then Daniel, if you wanted to jump in too, just feel free to do that.
Okay.
Apologies for interrupting. The interpreters are going to switch real quick.
Okay, sure. One moment. I'll get you all in here. Okay, great. Go ahead.
I just got to notice that my connection is unstable, meaning my internet. So if I fade away, I don't really have a lot to add. I think I've really felt deeply the perspectives that have been shared about the importance of grief, actually is the words I want to use. It's actually really important to engage it in a meaningful way. And you strike me as a wise person, Edith, that you actually have got a pretty good handle on navigating your way through life with this. It's always good to ask for help, but I don't feel like you're clueless. I feel like there's something in you that's multiple things in you that are coming to the fore in response to this, and that you're carving meaning out of your life in doing so. You're deepening your cup of who you are. So I'm feeling good, if I dare say that.
Thank you.
Okay. Yeah, so thank you so much, Edith, for your question. I think all the other practitioners have shared. Wow, the timing of today. Yeah. I'm sorry, I personally just been a little distracted by a logistical thing in the background, but yeah. Oh, all right. Well, so we've got practitioners, we've got just about 10 minutes left. And so we don't have anything specific that we have planned right now. A couple people that we're going to ask questions are waiting until another panel. So practitioners, if there's anything else that's occurring to you that you want to share just from today or about the theme today, I'm happy to have you do that. Yeah.
If it's okay, Lorelai did direct message about this. I don't know, but towards the very end, like towards for like a 5-minute journey, I do this journey meditation where everyone can throw their griefs and what ails them into Fang Popo, her stack of winds, to be transmuted into love and light, to be returned to the universe. So if that's a journey that you want to do, and I'll blow the wind whistles and everything, I can do that, but we can wait for a second.
I think that's great, actually. If you want to do that, go ahead. I think that would be really good.
All right, so real quick for everyone, I would like you to, if you're able to, I know some of us are bedridden at the current moment, but we can if you're able to straighten your back, kind of loosen up real quick. I know we've been talking about it for a fair little bit, so for those of you that have what is playing them in mind, kind of find that and kind of feel on your body where that is from our, as we learned from our touch body practitioners. Feng Popo is the wind goddess from China, and she carries this goat skin sack with her that she pulls the cardinal winds out of. And it is this sack that she's going to come in and swoop and grab these ailments from us. So I want you to kind of feel on your body and kind of imagine yourself kind of reaching in and finding where that grief, where that pain or that ailment resides, and drawing it out and holding it in your hands in front of you. I'll give you a second to do that. And I want us to prepare ourselves as well for this is an extraction of sorts. So I want us to breathe in deeply through our noses and then release and blow out all air from our lungs, almost like we've been winded, and hold it for a second. Breathe in again, very deep breath, and release. Down to the very depths, further this time. And then breathe in one more time. Hold it. Feel and put all the energy of this ailment into your hands. And on this out breath, I want you to hold your space for a little bit longer and then breathe in as I blow this wind whistle. So breathe out. Hold the intention of releasing this ailment. As Feng Popo rides in and grabs this with her sack. And as she rides by and picks up what you have offered to her, she places a bead of light into each of your hands. And I want you to take that bead of light and press it wherever that you removed the ailment. And as you press it in, you can look up and see Feng Popo as she rides away with her goatskin sack and throws into the universe and explodes in this dazzling array of light to be returned and transmuted into love and light, to be returned to the universe. When you're ready, you can return to your bodies and breathe easier as this ailment is now gone. Aho.
All right. Thanks so much, Wyatt. All right. Well, by the way, I don't think Tina is still here. If Tina's still here, if you could let me know in the chat. And yeah, so practitioners, let's go through and just share our contact info again. Just in the video, I'll post it in the chat. And then thank you everyone for being here. If you haven't already, if you'd like to enter the drawing that we do for a 30-minute session with one of us of your choice, the link's there for you. We'd love to get your feedback about today. So practitioners, yeah, let's just jump in one at a time. I guess I need to know who wants to go, and I'll pin you and put you here with Sharon. So you share about who you are, what you do, and just your contact info, so people that watch the video later can see you. Yeah, Dana in here too, whoever's interpreting. I guess just, do we want to go in a similar order? Sandra, do you want to go first again? Is that okay?
Sure.
Right, go ahead.
Hi, I'm Sandra Jeffs, and my contact information is sandrajeffs.com. I do energy healing. I do feng shui. I've been practicing for 25 years, over 25 years. I do theta healing, soul essence awakening, and I make spiritual jewelry. And I have a special for this show only for a releasing technique for 25% off. Thanks.
All right, great. Let's see. So should we, Susie, are you okay to go next? Let me just
Yeah.
get you here pinned for a moment. Okay, great. You're pinned. Go ahead.
Okay. Hi, I'm Susie Parker Goins. I'm with Blue Lightning Healing. I'm a channel, so I can embody your guide so you can have a face-to-face conversation with them, ask questions, do what you need to. I'm an energy healer. I do Reiki and body scans. I also love doing past life explorations, and frequently there are things that come up that you need in the time of the session. So we're open, we're game. I also have a podcast that uploads topics on Thursdays or channeling, and then meditations on Mondays. And it's interesting that this week it's about the inner child. You can find me at Facebook at Blue Lightning Healing. I have a website, bluelightninghealing.com. The best way to get a hold of me is my email at susypgoins. That's SUSYPGOINS @gmail.com. And the podcast is called Blue Lightning Healing Meditations. Thank you all so much for being so fabulous and sharing and kind and compassionate to each other. I am so grateful to be a part of this. Talk to y'all later.
Thanks so much, Susie. All right, Wyatt, let's have you go.
Hi everyone. Again, my name is Wyatt Larson. I'm a shamanism practitioner. I perform shamanic healing and mediumship, as well as I work with the wind, as you guys just experienced. And I create these awesome amulets. I have this 10% off session as well, 10% off all my sessions, rather. All you have to do is just reach out to me, as my sessions don't have a coupon code right now due to who I host with, so working on that though. So just reach out to me, you get the 10% off. You can find me at thewildwoodhollow.com, or you can reach out to me at thewildwoodhollow@gmail.com. I look forward to hearing from you guys. Thank you for blessing our space with us.
All right, then we'll have Susan, Daniel, Aylin, and Thorn next. So Susan, if you're ready, go ahead.
I am ready. I'm Susan Watkins with Inspired Life Essential Wellness, and I offer Reiki energy healings as well as intuitive readings with Oracle and tarot cards, sound healings, and also private yoga instruction. And I really enjoy being a part of this fair and look forward to future panels and future work with everyone. Best place to reach me is inspiredlife.service@gmail.com. And my event specials are $45 for 30 minutes and $75 for 60 minutes.
Thanks so much, Susan. Daniel, let me get you here in the pin. All right, great. Daniel, go ahead.
Yes, Daniel Steinmetz here with Moving Deeper Wellness. I'm a licensed body worker and a personal wellness consultant, and I offer body-based whole person wellness services to spiritual seekers and others. And best way to reach me is movingdeeperwellness@gmail.com. The website, movingdeeperwellness.com, is not up yet. I've been taking my time on getting that going. And tonight's been really meaningful and really purposeful and rich for me. So I'm delighted to have been here sharing space with you all in this sanctuary, in this temple.
Thanks so much, Daniel. All right, we've got Aylin coming up here next. All right,
Hi,
Aylin.
Aylin Lona, energetic body worker, working with the chakras, etheric, and astral bodies, as well as physical work. If you're in North Bend, Washington, my website is releasingjoy.com. And I have a special for this event. It's on the website.
It's 5 sessions at 20% off. It's $360.
Yeah.
I'm
That's
saying you do structural integration and massage also, and you do some of the structural integration work online as well, correct?
Yes, I do online body work now. I can work with you through video, show you some stretches and some movements and hand placements to help release pain and tension in different places of the body. So wonderful to be here. Thank you all.
Great, thanks so much, Aylin. And Thorn, let's see. We're gonna switch, and let me go grab. Where's Thorn? Let me go find. Aha. All right, Thorn.
Hi, everyone. I am Thorn. My name sign is this hand shape off the cheek. I am local to the Portland, Oregon area. I do intuitive magic work. I do readings. I do tarot. I do runes. I do energy healing. I do work with past lives and experience. I do work in the Fey realm. So I basically am A to Z. I'm a jack of all trades. So my clients are deaf, hard of hearing, people that use ASL, people that don't even know ASL. I work the whole spectrum. I offer celebratory rituals to acknowledge life transitions and changes, new moon work, full moon work related to any of the lunar cycles. So again, if you name it, I do it. So that's me. Just thinking. So my website is www.spiritoracle.com. And my email is actually the best way to get in hold of me. And my email is heartofoak8@gmail.com. I'm also on Instagram, and you can find me on Instagram, and my handle on Instagram is @heartofoak8. So that's me. Excellent. For, again, this month of February, I am offering a discount on readings and services. So there's a sliding scale. So basically $30 it's usually $30 for half an hour, 60 for an hour. And again, that's on a sliding scale. So get a hold of me. Let's talk it out. And I've really enjoyed connecting with all of you today. Thank you so much. This was tremendous, and I've really enjoyed it. So, and also thank you very much for writing interpreters and making this event accessible.
Yes, thank you so much, the interpreters, and also Thorn for asking for this, and thank you everyone for working with me as I was finding my flow with the interpreters, and I'm getting better at this. This is good.
Right. You did great. Thank you so much. Again, really appreciate it. So yeah, just thank you very much.
You are welcome. And I'm Lorelei Shimayo. I'm an intuitive eye reader and a body psychology coach. I think that we all read so much in each other's eyes. We read so much in body language. There's a lot that we're aware of. There's a lot that we respond to subconsciously. And there's so much more that we can make conscious awareness. We can bring to conscious awareness and make conscious choices of how to support ourselves, how to express the best of who we are, and how to honor everyone and know who we want to go to and how we want to play with people in a way that honors and supports them and creates the most juice between us and our interactions. So I'm online at LorelaiShimayo.com. That's LaurelaiShimayo.com. And I have a special right now too. It's the hour sessions are 40% off, so it's $90 an hour. And if you want to do a shorter session, you can do that as little as 10 minutes. I can share a lot in 10 minutes. All right. Oh, and yeah. Okay, great. And let's see. So then coming back to the whole event, let's, I just want to go back to, so everybody at once, but I can't do that right now. Let's see. So thank you so much for coming. So this was our MeWe Awakening panel. The theme today was releasing blockages from your body. We have a lot more events coming up. I say thank you so much, everyone, for your questions and just the depth of your being with the questions, and practitioners for your answers. And I love how we all support each other together. Just some of the events that are coming up on Monday. So just in a couple of days, we have a panel on animal communication and healing. That's at 6 p.m. Pacific time. And then the following Friday, February 12, we have a panel on New Love for You. That starts at 6 p.m. Pacific time. And then Friday, February 19, we have a panel on opening to receive support, seen and unseen. That starts at 6. And then on the 20th, we have one of our fairs again. And Wednesday, February 24, we have a panel on crystal healing. Saturday, February 27, we have a panel on medical intuition and energy healing. And then way off in March, just because it came up tonight, we have a panel on cutting cords. That's on March 22nd. One moment. All right, energy shift. All right, I'm going to put everybody back on gallery view here for a moment. And thank you so much, everyone, for being here together. I appreciate it very much. Everyone, if you want to, on the way out, and I'll put in the chat one more time, if you want to fill out the form to give us feedback on today and our event today and get entered into the drawing for a free 30-minute session, that would support us too. We all, everyone on the panel gets to know who you are, and we were able to share other events with you by email. That would be really great. So yeah, if everyone is, just as you're leaving, thanks so much for being here. Feel free to unmute and share your voice in the space and just say goodbye. And yeah, thank you so much for being here. We appreciate the energy of everyone holding this and doing this all together. Yeah.
Hi, everybody.
Hi, thank you.
Bye, thank you.
Bye.
Bye, thank you.
Bye, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much,
Thank you.
everyone.
You're so welcome. Yeah, and more people are responding in chat too. And thank you. It's just all of us together. It's how we do this. And thank you so much for all your donations for the interpreters. Much appreciated.
Great job, Lorelei.
Thank you. All
Thank
of
you
us
guys. Have a
together.
good rest of your night.
Yay. And practitioners, if you if you want to stay for a couple minutes, we'll just do a quick debrief and move everyone else off to the waiting room. Be just a moment. And there are so many more events from us at mewefairs.com. That's MEWEFAIRS.com.